Good evening, everybody. I am here for another live stream working on art today, and this is another, picture for a friend, different friend. I've drawn for him a couple of times. This character's on the right there. He's a fox named Les, and um, he was kind of saw the Valentine's Day pictures I'd been making through February, and I've been posting here and there on site to site. And he asked me, well, could I get one? So I was like, oh, sure. And also, and another friend of mine who I've been working with too in some pictures asked me if a bit ago um, if I'd like to practice scenery, and which was just one of my weak points. So I do need to practice that. And I thought, and you know the other friend suggested characters walking in the park since it's spring. So I'm gonna try to um, add a park background to this image. Don't know if I'll get to that part during the stream, but that's my intention, is kind of have like a scene there, because I like to have this. It's actually kind of a follow up in a sense, indirectly, to a picture I did last year, where my Wolfsky character on the left here has a big brother relationship with a younger male character. Like there's this one I did, this is probably one of my favorite pieces from last year, um, that I did for another artist, and yeah, and then really outdid myself with the background on this one. It's not phenomenal, but I just like good for me because I'm really weak at backgrounds. But you know, bit of practice, always good to practice, and so I'll see what I can do with this one. I already started a bit of a line art, so I'm gonna continue on and see how far we get during tonight's stream. And there are some other pictures from two people on one of the sites I follow, or have a gallery in. Two people asked for art trades, so I sketched theirs out, and they were really happy with them. So I'm gonna need to get those finished too. Not during the stream, but that's some stuff that's on my plate art-wise. So stay tuned for that. Depending on the site you follow me on. Yeah, because there's some sites where I post some things, and other sites where I don't. But there's some sites where I post some stuff and all the stuff, and then there's some sites where it all depends really. What kind of audience I think would appreciate that picture or whatnot. So yeah. But I just really adore drawing these kind of friendly scenes between characters. It just makes me feel happy to do. Like it just, I could draw stuff that's more overtly another emotion, which I should. There are some though that I see kind of take it too far, and this has been for some fan art, like not knocking it at all, but that I've seen some fan art that's kind of like a sad fic image, if that makes sense. Because there's sad fics that try to deliberately make people, feel sad for the characters in them, through whichever means necessary, well written or not, it depends. But I don't know. I think sad fic is usually a derogatory term when it comes to descriptions of fanfics and such. But I've seen some fan art that has that particular vibe to it, where it just wants to be sad, which is understandable. That's what the artist is trying to convey in that moment in time, and it's very reasonable. It's their self-expression. Just I try to hold off on that myself, and then I kind of tend to use mine to just kind of like my art and stuff, to fantasize and just kind of express more generally positive emotions. But I'm just always seeing what I can do, and self-expression. But I don't often draw things that are sad. Now, I was actually looking at one of my art, like one of the sites I have one of the artists I follow, he posted an image. He has a really cute style, likes to draw like very very storybook esque, with like young, you know, anthropomorphic characters, and he does a lot of fan art of Zootopia. And there's one fan art picture of his that was of Nick Wilde as a small child. And it was very cute. And then the picture, he was sad because one of his toys was broken, and like the caption was explaining that, oh, his mom's gonna fix it. That made him feel happier. But it's just kind of sometimes like just like the like a overly sad pictures where it's like a, you know, just like it was a well done picture, but it's just not my favorite kind of thing to see because I don't like seeing sad children. Um, and so, by that extension, I wouldn't want to dedicate a lot of my time to drawing sad children unless I really wanted to, for whichever reason, like if for commission or for a project where that was, you know, that I was required to get that feeling across. But for something like this, where it's just, you know, a gift for someone, I'm just kind of having fun. I just want to, you know, draw a little something. I would not go for something sad or angry. If someone wants to, that's fine, and there are times where I want to as well. Like I can't really think of any very sad pictures I've drawn. Some that have been angry, mostly those old Project Art Pop pictures I worked on, that I still haven't finished all of them for. Yeah, it's just kind of dropped. I just kind of stopped at Applause, Venus, and Dope, and haven't picked up those. No, Applause, Venus, and Mary Jane Holland. I still need to finish those. It's been years since that album came out, and yeah, the ones that I could think of being, you know, the pictures being overtly sad or angry, were Dope and Swine, respectively, which is fitting because those are, you know, Dope is a sad song and Swine is an angry song. So I want to, you know, convey those emotions in the images, and you know that was important to me to get done, and I'm glad I did because I've worked through a lot, especially with the Swine picture, just kind of working through this kind of the my own kind of feelings associated with some anger things at the time, and so yeah, it was very therapeutic for me, and that's why I can see, you know, some people with their, you know, their sapphic images and angry images, that being something they're trying to do, just kind of have that release for themselves, and that's very understandable and admirable to kind of have that, you know, just that safe release. Better that than swearing at people online and all that baloney. So, yeah, I'm all for, you know, artistic expression to, you know, get peace of mind. You know, really trying to think of what other things have I done that are sad or angry pictures. Hmm. Do a lot of comedic stuff as well, here and there. I feel that toe's a bit off. Oh, that toe feels a bit long. See what I can do about revisiting it. hit my keyboard. I had a very eventful Saturday today. Got a lot of things done. Had an appointment. I tried the new at Starbucks, the new cinnamon. Well, I got the iced one. You can get warm as well. But I tried the iced cinnamon cloud macchiato, and there's also a caramel variant, however you like to pronounce it. And caramel's not my favorite flavor, but I do like cinnamon a lot. So I tried the cinnamon one, and it was okay. I definitely felt it's like the gimmick is the to the drink. The gimmick is the foam. They like the specialty foam, which like uses egg whites and something or other. So the drink turned out to be more foam than drink, or at least to accommodate more foam, it had less drink, and I found it pretty underwhelming because I'm not big on foam really. I don't care that much about foam. Like, if I usually given the option, I'll ask for no foam just because, well, for one, empty calories, and for two, it just takes up space for the drink because they're crafty there at Starbucks when you order something. So just the foam just like is empty calories and space for me. This one was like kind of unique foam, and the foam was just okay, and I just less drink for that just made me disappointed overall. So I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know how that warm one tastes, if it manages that better. I just think the cold one's not good for the cinnamon caramel. Again, the issue is the foam, so probably depending on how much you like those flavors, you might like it. But I just thought it was average, not worth the price. So yeah, I did try earlier in the week the matcha green tea latte. That was good. That I enjoyed. Not too sweet, but it has its unique flavor for the matcha green tea flavor, and mixed very smoothly, and good price for what it was and the size I ordered, and good drink amount. So yeah, I do recommend the matcha green tea latte much more over the cinnamon cloud macchiato, iced cinnamon cloud. There's the iced latte you can get too. It's like an iced drink's gonna be good, but you always have to worry about how much the baristas are putting ice in there compared to the drink. You do get a leaner drink, of course, that way, but you want less drink or more drink. It depends on what you're looking for, and I'm fine getting nothing bigger than a tall because I just don't need 16 ounces of anything in one sitting. Don't need to ingest 16 ounces of anything in one sitting because why? And sometimes I get the short 8-ounce size, which is nice. Good size for a modest latte. The price difference for a short and a tall isn't that much. It just depends on what you want to have at the time. But I think the difference, at least where I go to, the difference maybe 25 cents about. Yeah, but if I want to just like try something, and it's a warm drink, I'll probably get the short just to see, do I really want to, and do I really want to drink all this? If it's a heavy drink, especially like a mocha or sometimes with a latte, I'll be like, okay, just give me a short for this, or and yeah. They also have a matcha green tea lemonade so they mixed in the green tea and lemonade, which I heard was good. Like the barista where I got the latte recommended that one, So she recommended both, but I went with the latte because I felt like a warm drink at the time. So the latte was less expensive than the green tea lemonade infusion or whatever it was called. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with these toes. I also see a fly on my screen. Not a fly, but like a tiny gnat. Kind of intrigued by what I'm drawing, I guess. That looks off, okay. Hmm. How has everyone else's weekend been going? I know the weather's been really good for mine, and this is kind of, at least for my neck of the woods, where kind of spring break started. So I have to work over spring break, but a lot of my coworkers are taking time off. But I'll be in the office all that time. It's gonna be fairly quiet, I believe, which is nice. I can get my own work done and organize things I've been meaning to get to. Like there's some stuff I've been kind of putting off, so I need to get to those things. Yeah. Yeah, cancel. Oh, wait, go back. Okay. But should be good weather, or at least decent enough weather for most of this week in spring break, and then I think tomorrow the clocks change or something or other. Yeah. I'll deal with it. Miles off. Alright. I need to go do the character on the left after this. Or on the right. My right. My right. My character's left. Yeah. that line, so let me try to redo that one. Ooh. Let's get it a bit too far. That cuts off too much, actually. Okay, let me try this again. Ah. So hard to come back to a already started straight line. Make everything line up just right. But that's not complete. Okay, that's a bit closer. Right now I need to do the teeth, or yeah, well, that's how the direct translation goes. The blocks underneath. Maybe a bit longer to match. I got a message. Oop. Sorry, like answer this real quick. Don't know why I didn't get the sound notification. Might be because it's on my second screen and the sound can be weird sometimes. Alright. I don't know, I was just having kind of a bit of trouble. I think because I just don't have these lined up like I should. Yeah, I don't. Okay. There's always kind of the trouble from kind of going for a different angle than I'm used to. Okay. I'm gonna have to redo this line. Alright. Which is fine. Had a pretty cold week here. Well, where I am. They warmed up today. Enough that I was able, that, you know, good light casual wear weather. Got to finally wear sandals after a long time of it being too cold for that. At least too cold for me. I'm very cautious. So. No, okay, maybe just kind of. think that's fine for now, and I kind of want to move on to the other parts of the picture. Such a perfectionist for this. Kind of. I don't know. No, that's even worse. Nah, that's bad. Let me try just kind of. I think it's just, messing with my eyes. Okay. Okay. That's the magic of digital art. I can do this. I just really didn't like that working in that angle, or just I had to make everything really slanted to. Okay, now let's take a break from that bit. I have to do a lot of stuff. I have to do his head, his legs, his tail. Yeah, that's just for the line art. Got my save there. All right. This is very kind of colorful. I really like the design of the hoodie that the artist gave this character. I really haven't changed my character's design in quite a while. But giving it different outfits, but his default look is essentially the same. It's been the same since 2010, I think. Yeah, I think when I first made him all the way back then. No, not my first. He has had changes. Like, he changed a few times that year. Wasn't not until 2011. I don't know, because there was a time where a lot of his fur was he had mostly black fur and just white on his face, abdomen, chest, and hands and feet, and half his tail. That's his original design. But then I thought I didn't. And also when having a hard time getting that one. You know, I need to keep my tablet clean. Anyway, but I didn't have a good reference of him with that design yet. So I had to, when I was trying to get pictures of him, I had to write out that whole description, and it felt cumbersome. And then I thought, you know what, an all white body, I'm fine with that. And the rest is, I want to say history, but it's not that impressive, so the rest is done. Oh, got another few messages. There's a Bessing Fact friend of mine. He's watching. Yeah, it's actually the guy whose character I'm working on here. Very swell guy, fun to chat with. He has a really cute character. A lot of his style is one of his inspirations is the Crash Bandicoot series, and you could like definitely see that with, like how the fur, I don't know if you call it fur tattoo. I don't know how he described it in his, or even how Crash Bandicoot described it in that recent design of his. Well, relatively recent. Recent that it was like the last mainstream games that came out that weren't a remake. Yeah, gone circles on that one. Sorry. And then yeah, so just similar fur pattern how he had in those. I think it was Activision who produced those 3 games from like the. Would that be the Was it the 360 era? I believe it was. Yeah. 360, PS3, and such. I didn't play any of those. Never got a chance to, but I kind of also heard they're not great, like the originals. But also I heard the originals haven't aged the best either, so they had to. But they do have the remake, and I really want to play those. I mean, that's on my that's in my library. I just need to get around to actually playing those. The Insanity trilogy. Because I do really like Crash Bandicoot. He's just from that classic era of well, he's from that area of where people were really trying to find their game mascots for that time, because like the big thing, like the big mascot rivalry of the '90s, and Crash was PlayStation's attempt, but then they kind of like PlayStation never really could get the grasp of their own mascot. Like they switched between mascots 3 times after that, and then they just kind of went, forget it. And Crash was their closest they had for like their console mascot. At least he was the one that had the longest. I think he had the longest time in that position. So he was up there with Sonic and Mario for the rivalry. At the very least, he was successful. Whoop! Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I was just holding on to my watch and it just kind of fell on my desk. We're sorry about that. So yeah, Crash was, mascot from the time, and he was also successful during that time. Where a lot of, people made, a lot of game developers at that time were trying to make a mascot, and a lot of them fell into the rubbish bin of history, or at least, or at best have very cult followings. Trying to think of an example. There was one that was a ninja, I think, but I can't remember his name. It's like a ninja. He was green and black, and like the first level in his game was a candy theme level, I think. Oh, for God's sake, I can't remember his name though. I think it started with a Z. So there's that one. There was also like Captain Booger or something, in a very '90s game, 2D platformer themed around Gross Out. Earthworm Jim, he happened around that time, and he had success until the Nintendo 64, and when he hit the polygon ceiling very hard, as did Bubsy, and Bubsy's just kind of that mascot he's kind of the, and now especially because there's no way you can get past it. He's kind of the mascot that he seemed just to exist to be hated, like among gaming in general. Like as a mascot, as a series, like Bubsy just everyone hates, and to the point that I think, again, it's just supposition, that I just, with how badly like they had they were like recent like Bubsy games that came out last year or the year before that stunk, and I just don't know if that was on purpose or not. Just 'cause it just seems like that's the Bubsy brand, is to be not. It's just to be bad. Like there was that horrible cartoon pilot that just was a disaster in every sense. I don't even know if the initial 3D not 3D 2D Bubsy games were any good at all either. Um, um, I really don't know. Um, and then the 3D one was just a huge. Just it makes a lot of people's worst games of all time list. The Bubsy 3D for, I think that was the N64 or so, and yeah, smashed into the polygon ceiling and got cut to ribbons. That was 90s. What else was there in the 90s? That time, who else was not so good? There's T-Rex, I think, from that time. Um, oh, hi, welcome to the chat, Miles. He's on the Twitch chat now, so I could see him. Oh, when did the combo get to Bubsy? Oh, I was just going through lists of 90s. What should I say? Lists of less successful gaming mascots. Well, attempted gaming mascots created during the 90s, and Bubsy was one of them. And just kind of going through, his very tragic history of repeated failures when it comes to trying to appeal to an audience. Couldn't make it work with a cartoon. Couldn't make it work in going through the polygon ceiling. I mean, he didn't really. And yeah, and then just kind of some remakes that they kind of, or just new games. I don't know if that were those there's those I don't even know if those games that came out with Bubsy recently, if those were entirely new games or were they like remakes of the old ones. I'm not quite sure. I just heard that they weren't that good, so. I think Mega Man was made in the 80s, not 90s, but they did 90s up Mega Man for Mega Man X, so he got a 90s makeover and a very 90s rival. And actually, I haven't played any of the main Mega Man games, but I have played one of the Mega Man X games, and I think it was the second one. And I remember it very fondly because it had a boss soundtrack. I mean, just phenomenal. I adore that one. I would listen to it from time to time. It also had some really interesting villain designs, like the Mavericks in that game. Like there's Override Ostrich, and that was a time in my life when ostriches were my favorite animal. That was a long time ago. They aren't anymore. They aren't my favorite anymore. Also had what's it called? Flame Stag, which is like the deer themed robot villain with antlers made of fire. That was a nifty design. There was also Plant Sponge, Wheel Alligator, which was an alligator mixed with a wheel. Not sure that crossed too far into silly though. But yeah, I sucked at that game because it was when I was very young and I didn't know anything. Could barely play a game to save my life. The only game I could really play during that time well was Super Mario World, which bona fide classic, bona fide all-time great game, I believe. Yeah. Oh, some comments. Oh, okay, Miles is talking about his character. He says, a few questions I ought to answer. The stuff on Miles' arms are just called the arm patterns. Alright? He just has really well textured fur. Oh, okay. And also there are only 2 Crash games with the tattoo designs and stuff like that. Titans and Mind Over Mutant. That's right, okay. I don't know why I thought there was a third one in there. Yeah, so there's just 2. And also Crash gets redesigned in between those games. Like, he looks different in Mind Over Mutant than he did in Titans. I'm not quite sure why they decided to redo him again. Especially because that, like, My Neighbor Mutant is they kind of go with like a lot of homages, and so a lot of the cutscenes are done in various art styles. So you know really just see Crash's new design when in the gameplay. I was just of course he would, but I just don't know why they needed to redesign him again. You were close, totally. Oh, okay. He's saying totally Rackle made those games. I don't know why I thought it was Activision. Oh, and then also Tag Team Racing, which I heard was good, but I think in that one his design is more reminiscent of his Twinsanity design. I think at least the pants are similar, but the shoes are a different color. Like he has red shoes in Crash Team Racing and gray ones in Twinsanity. Also, his fur is a bit more. I think his fur is a bit more orange in Twinsanity than it is in Crash Team Racing. Crash Team Racing is more closer to his standard yellow one, but I think there's a slight tint of yellow to the fur in Twinsanity, if I'm recalling correctly. Speaking of game soundtracks, I cannot stand. I gotta say, full disclosure, I cannot stand the acapella soundtrack to Twinsanity. That just never hit my ears right. Sorry. I mean, I applaud it for what they were trying to do. It just wasn't my taste. So, yeah. Also, you're sort of right. Crash's design changes throughout the game. The game's a bit. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Like he's not like Sonic has only had maybe one major redesign. That was his jump from two, but Sonic Boom is a spin-off and is so terrible people try to forget it. Sonic had the main one when it came to when he first got on the Dreamcast for Sonic Adventures 1 and 2. That's when he got Skinny Sonic, and before that he had that standard design. And then Mario has just been Mario, except when he's Paper Mario or the game requires him to have a different outfit. But Crash does have quite a bit of change throughout his tenure. Example, Miles' drawing for one of Crash's designs is Crash Nitro Kart. Which design did he have in that one? I'm trying to think. I know his hair changes a lot. Crash's muzzle and belly are the same color from the games afterwards. Oh, alright. Oh, speaking of designs. Oh, gosh. Okay, I want to bring this up just because it feels right and we were talking about Sonic. Another new Sonic design is the one for the upcoming Sonic movie. I think we've all seen the leaked images from that. And, oh, no. No, I mean, I just want to know, like, what's the need to fix things that aren't broken? And I was also watching a video when people were reviewing it, and there's something I forgot, but this exists. There's a the movie design still isn't final though. Well, I hope not, because that design is horrific. But there's a progressive ad where Sonic is featured. It's like CGI Sonic, how he looks in the modern games, and that's fine to me. And the same thing goes for for the Pokemon characters. I mean, we already know this is going to be unrealistic. I mean, you don't need to make it quote unquote more realistic with the design to kind of fit with the real world. I mean, we already know it's not going to. I mean, it's a blue hedgehog. I mean, it's an electric mouse. You're not gonna get. You don't need you don't need to make those look, because it's gonna look. We know what this thing's supposed to. We know what these characters are supposed to look like, and we're kind of fine with that. And then it's also the question, why not just make it animated to begin with? I mean, sorry, I kind of got a bit jumbled there. The renders are from a patch video to Sony back during the early stages, according to some. Okay, for the Sonic movie. That makes me feel a bit better, and I really hope they do something, because it's... Oh, those images are rough. I mean, really rough. Also, a good chunk of the Pokemon and Detective Pikachu are ugly as hell, in my opinion, and can't be changed. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly that they just... Oh, gosh, that trailer... I want to see it. I will see... I'm going to watch. I mean, I really got to watch, and I really want to give a review, because I need to know how... What they did. Because it does... it does not look like it's going to be good. I could be proven wrong, it might just look bad, but, you know, we'll see. Oh yeah, Jigglypuff. Yeah. I think Jigglypuffs are really hard design to kind of stylize, because even in, this is a funny example, it's very minor, but in Smash Bros. Ultimate, so in the campaign of that game, the single-player campaign, you fight, like, possessed, not possessed, well, yeah, you do fight possessed, heroes and and you fight their clones too. And the clones, when you like see like the versus screen, it'll show them with like red eyes because to signify they're evil or whatever. And Jigglypuff's look so bad because her eyes look like they normally would, but the I forgot how you pronounce it. The bit that's supposed to be white is pink, so she looks like her eyes are super bloodshot, as though she's stoned. I mean, it's just amusing, but it just kind of doesn't give that gravity of Dire Straits, but makes it look very odd. So yeah, that's just a design that it exists in that cartoony design, and if you take that design out of that art style, it's gonna look weird. So, and you put it into a quote-unquote realistic CGI design, it's gonna look very weird. So, oh girl, just... We'll see what happens when the movie comes out. Yeah. Oh yeah, Yoshi has the weird eyes too in Smash Bros. Ultimate when he's evil. Super stoned indeed. I haven't played Smash Bros. In a while. I feel a little bit burnt out, so I've been taking a break from it last couple weeks. Really good game though. But yeah, the World of Light Red Eyes, they only look good on some characters, but not others. Yeah, and usually the characters with more cartoony eyes, like Mila is mentioning also Diddy Kong, like Diddy Kong, Yoshi, Jigglypuff. They made them look. It's like you have the big eyes, but you have to make them look evil, so you make the Scalia pink, and it's just I don't know. Like the characters look more anime-esque, well, not really. More human proportioned eyes, Solid Snake, various people from Fire Emblem. They look fine with the red evil glow, whatever. Stretch out a bit. Yeah. Zoom out. Where am I here? Okay, now do the tail and then the legs. Alright. So yeah, like successful, well, mildly successful 90s gaming mascots. Oh, Camila is talking about how short his characters. Well, your character's also younger than mine. And on top of that, my character's wearing, elevated sandals, so there's that. So don't feel bad. And you did okay. You did draw my. I also used a reference you made because Miles was very kind to draw a sketch of my characters a while back. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see here. Where is it? Here we go. There we go. So I kind of use this as a reference too for the height difference. And I had to translate it a bit into my style. Hope I'd make it come out decently. So. Oh yeah, that was honestly rougher than I could have done it. It's fine. I mean, that was when you're just starting out on. Well, yeah, you were that was before you got your tablet, right? Pretty sure it was, but it's a really cute sketch, and I really appreciate any kind of gift art, and I really adore how my character looks in your style. So I really do appreciate this. Thank you. Spyro had a bit of a history. He had a good one. I need to play his like he had a re-release of remastered games too. I need to play his. I never got into Spyro the Dragon back in the day. Well, mostly because I didn't have a PS1. So, and yeah, Spyro's fantastic. Well, I don't know if he had the same kind of. I'm really unfamiliar with the trajectory of him. I mean, as you said, you wouldn't have. What was it? Oh yeah. You wouldn't say Spyro had a great history. Okay, I should clarify to you. I'm not. I'm really unfamiliar with Spyro's history. I just know he was eventually assimilated into Skylanders, and then he got, I think he had some popularity there. I don't know because I don't follow Skylanders. I just know he was in there, and so was Crash Bandicoot. They they had a crossover in there, and Crash Bandicoot could talk, which was very surprising because he doesn't talk in the games. He just kind of laughs and makes noises. He does speak completely gibberish, and this is another thing that was weird in those Radical Entertainment games. Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutant. He spoke in gibberish that Uka could understand. I think Coco could too. But yeah. Oh, so I'm very unfamiliar with how the Spyro, like the history of the Spyro games. I just know, the Skylanders thing, and I believe he's looked upon favorably, at least when it comes to gaming mascots. Let's see here. Mila says, sure, the trilogy was great, but after that, it was kind of all over the place. Enter the Dragonfly, the fourth game, was a rushed mess and was basically Spyro's Sonic 06. Ooh, okay. That's a very bleak comparison. Yeah. I'm more familiar with how the Rayman games have gone. I just know for Rayman, the first game was a 2D game, which was very, very different in style from the games that followed, because they went 3D, and they did well, I believe. I did play Great Escape, which is the one with the robot pirates. I did play a bit of that one. Didn't own it, but I played it at a friend's place. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and I don't. But then Ubisoft decided to cram in those rabbits, and how things went from there. But he did come back in Rayman Origins, which is a fantastic, absolutely fantastic 2D platformer. I still need to play Rayman Legends, which is the follow-up to that game. So Rayman did bounce back, and also I think in a roundabout way because Ubisoft owns the Rabbids, and they made that Super Mario crossover. What was it called? Like the XCOM kind of game. Was it? Mario Times Rabbit. I don't know. It's very recent. It's on the Switch, and I have played that one a bit. That's really fun and cute. Um, because of that partnership, you know, Rayman at least appeared in Smash Bros. As a spirit. So I mean, I believe that's auspicious, and you know, Nintendo is going to be pumping out those DLC throughout the year, throughout 2019. So who knows who could end up a new Smash Bros. Character? We already have two confirmed. Piranha Plant, who was released recently, and then Joker from the Persona games, who's coming out. And I think there's going to be four more characters released. So yeah, see what happens. Oh, Miles says back to Spyro. He says he had a few decent Game Boy Advance titles and a bunch of and a sort of okay fifth game with A Hero's Tale. Then he got rebooted from Legend of Spyro games, an attempt to make Spyro into this deep lore-focused world. Ooh, that's a worrying sign. And then Skylanders happened. Okay. I have a problem when it comes to... I know when he said, you know, deep lore-focused world, and, you know... I mean, it's like deep lore-focused world for, well, Super Mario. I mean, you don't need that. I mean, Mario has its own lore, of course, but it's not really that. Like, you don't need it, and if you want to focus on it, then that's very odd, and then that just draws into question a lot of things in the world. Like we don't need to know about, you know, like Super Mario Kingdom politics at all. We're fine that Pauline is mayor of New Donk City. Like, we don't, like, that's good. You know, Peach is princess and rules the Mushroom Kingdom, and we're okay with that. We don't need any kind of lore into that. I mean, it'd be nice, but it doesn't need to be a focus. Maybe just an aside here. And I don't know how deep in lore Spyro could get, or how it did get. And Mila says, fun fact, Spyro was voiced by Elijah Wood in the Legend games. Huh. Very interesting. That's Frodo from the Lord of the Rings movies, and I mean, he's been in other stuff, but that's just kind of, I think that's what most people hear Elijah Wood and think about that. I think he also played a character in Sin City, but I'm not familiar with that, with who he played. But yeah, that's actually a pretty big name. I don't know how big his name was at that time, but like what the time frame was for Legends, Spyro games, and Lord of the Rings. I'm kind of fascinated by how some games, like, you don't notice who the voice actor is usually, and then you find out who is, and you're like, oh, okay. It's like it's someone you know or something. Mila's saying the Legend of Games were responsible for Cinder, the girl dragon that later appears in Skylanders. Okay. No idea who Cinder is, I gotta be honest. Apparently it's a girl dragon, so I don't know, is that Spyro's love interest or just gal pal? When it comes to games, like, you know, if there's introduced a female character, it's at least when it comes to mascot-driven games, like, you can expect that character to be a love interest. And that's what they did with Amy Rose, Peach, of course. They kind of did that. They attempted it with Crash Bandicoot in the first game, where he had Tanya, but then she went away because the developer thought she was too sexy for a kids game. So then they replaced her with Crash's sister, who didn't exist in the first game, but Tanya still was around, but they kind of just like did winks and nods to her, but no one really cared, because she really was just a damsel in distress in the first game. In like a tight pink top and booty shorts. And then Coco just, I say anything like blonde hair as well, but also overalls. Overalls are probably like the least sexy. Her name is Tana. Okay, Crash's girlfriend was named Tana, not Tanya. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, just an aside, just like as a thing. I think overalls are very unsexy. So, I mean, I didn't need to sexualize a girl character. I've watched anime. I don't need more of that. Not more anime. I just don't need all the sexualization things. Like, I was watching some videos about I'm getting a small Digimon kick, so I've been looking into some of the how things have been in those, like the characters and the various series, and the really just unnecessary fan service for the girl characters. Like, probably, I think the worst it got from what my research showed me was Digimon Frontier with the one female character in the hero cast, and how her rivalry was against a female Digimon, and their rivalry boiled down to who's the prettiest and who can more successfully manipulate men to doing their bidding. And that gets a discussion for another day, but it does provoke discussion, or at least some thoughts that I have. Yeah. We was saying. Also, it's pretty ironic that they made Coco to have a non-sexy character, considering she gets a lot of oh yeah, she gets a lot of Rule 34. Well, then I think every game character gets those, and they did kind of. I know in the Radical Entertainment games they did revamp her design. They got rid of the overalls, and they gave her, I think in at least in Mind Over Mutant, they gave her like a bare midriff top and like 90s Britney Spears pants. So if I'm remembering correctly. Like her redesign in the Radical Entertainment games was very Britney Spears to me, like early Britney. Britney before the knee injury and all the crazy and the kids and the ex-husbands and the. But I'm not bringing up on Britney. I adore Britney. She's one of my faves. She's been through a lot, let's say. That's another fun conversation. Ah. Mila's is saying, actually, Nitro Kart afterwards, she wore regular jeans and shirt that barely covered her midriff. Okay. So it was since then. Alright. I just remember specifically from Mind Over Mutant that was the case. But it also was in, I don't know if it was bare midriff in, Crash of the Titans, but she did have jeans and her hair down. She was also giving her a rivalry with Nina Cortex, because Nina Cortex had a more active role as a villain in that game. Titans didn't do much with her design then, just a revamp of her head. Mind Over Mountain made her look more like a mechanic. Okay. Like, I think Mind Over Mountain. She had goggles in Mind Over Mutant, I think. It's been a while since I looked into those cutscenes and characters. I something akin to Tails and Sonic Boom. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I always think Tails is adorable, by the way. Just a little side there. Again, a lot of Rule 34, but let's not get into that. So yeah, but it's there. It is. Ooh. I don't know if I'd say that the Sonic franchise has the most Rule 34 gaming, but I at least want to say he's at least in the top 5. So, just a guess. What was I saying? Come to think of it, Titan, the Crash of the Titans games are like the predecessor to Sonic Boom. I at least think from what I've heard and seen, the Crash of the Titans games are at least playable. So the Sonic Boom games, much less so playable. I mean, at least in design, because they did do kind of like the revamp to make the characters quote unquote edgier looking, which is totally unnecessary. Like they gave Crash the arm patterns, and they made what the heck was the character's name with the Mr. T impersonator character Bandicoot? Crunch, that's what his name was. They made him look more intimidating in the Titans games, but he looked more intimidating, but he did nothing. He was incapacitated throughout all of Crash of the Titans. In Mind Over Mutant, he's a boss fight, and then he does nothing, I think. So yeah. He was saying that the Crash Titans games are like the Sonic Boom games in the sense that the characters were redesigned. The games were changed to have beat 'em up mechanics, relying on plenty of humor in their cutscenes. Okay. Yeah, I remember there was in the clips I seen of the cutscenes from Sonic Boom, they tried to force a lot of humor in there. But just for that, I'd watch the Sonic Boom cartoon, which is actually pretty decent. I haven't seen much of the second season. Like the last episode I saw, the last new episode I saw years ago was the Shadow the Hedgehog episode, and that one I really enjoyed because of how Dr. Eggman fanboyed so hard over Shadow the Hedgehog. I just got a kick out of that. I mean, that show's kind of it's not great, but I found it entertaining for what it was. And also, it's not a huge garbage fire like the games is based on. So that's already a big plus for the show. Mila's saying that Crunch gets horribly screwed over. He does. At least Knuckles does things in the Sonic games. Crunch does nothing. Like he's an enemy in his debut is in Wrath of Cortex, and he's an enemy, and then he becomes a good guy. He's a cameo in Twinsanity, and I guess he appears in the racing games. And then he's frozen in ice for most of Crash of the Titans, and then Mind Over Mutant, he's mutated into into a boss fight, and then does nothing, I think. So yeah, they made their Mr. T parody really ineffectual. Like he has a mechanical arm, but he doesn't do anything with it. He has like the combat boots and the snarl and yeah. I'm fine with that compared to what they did to Tiny the Tiger. Tiny the Tiger I find unforgivable. Because, I mean, in the original Crash games, I thought Tiny was, scary looking and appropriate for what he needed to be. He did not need to be... Well, first of all, his species is changed in the Radical Entertainment games like entirely, so it's a different character altogether. And they gave him a really strange Mike Tyson voice. I don't know why. Yeah, it's just that again was like they were trying to go more like pop culture heavy with those Crash Mutant Titan games, especially in Mind Over Mutant, where it was just that was like the gimmick of all the cutscenes. It didn't play so well. It just really fell flat, especially when they had to use the dialogue. I remember one like it's a dumb joke and it doesn't work, but it's like Cortex comes through a door and and he just like says to the his henchman like who left lettuce in the urinal, and it's a it, I mean the line does have a payoff later, but if you think a line's stupid, the payoff is stupid. So yeah, I mean it's just like stuff like that where it doesn't land, and then there's just time filler stuff where like they defeat Embryo because Embryo shows up and in those games again to help Cortex because yeah. And then one of the cutscenes ends with a reenactment of the Hulk TV show finale where like Bruce Banner's like hitchhiking. They redo that scene, just going on way too long with Embryo with there's no punchline to it. It's just they remade that scene just for the reference, and it's not funny, and it lasts for at least half a minute, and you're just watching him on a road hitch, and it's like, why is this here? I mean, again, it was a lot of trying too hard humor and not trying at all reference humor that was a big problem with the Mind Over Mutant game and that kind of thing. So, Mila's saying Nolan North kills it as Engine. Oh yeah, okay. Engine is really funny. I do like him a lot in those Free Radical games. He has some really great moments. He has the highest of the Titans games, and he's high on the Titans games in my opinion. I think he is too. Like in the cutscenes, like the cutscenes that stick out in my mind positively are usually the ones that feature Engine, because he's just so pathetic and so crazy. It's really endearing. Like that combination of pathetic and crazy it's fun for a side villain. Apparently one of his quotes is "Let's just dance, baby." I don't remember that quote, but that does sound like something he would say. I think he had rat henchmen in one of the games, like in the Mind Over Mutant. He had like hippie rat henchmen or something. I remember seeing that design. I was like, what? Okay. I was like browsing the game, like the series wiki. I used to have a lot of those wiki sites saved in a folder, like the links to those sites. Back in my fanfic writing days. Those were a long time ago. Yeah, I used to be huge and like big into fanfic writing when I was younger. Um, I do look back on quite a bit of that with cringe because I mean it's fan fiction, and the time of my life that I made those in, I was very um, uh, teenagery, I guess you could say. But yeah, again, they didn't get to sapphic territory, but I got weird in some of those stories. Like I made a whole sort of retelling of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess with my, with like the Sailor Moon characters thrown in and one of my own making, and that to be like a love interest character, and I mean, that was an experience I'm glad I had in writing that, because I wrote a freaking novel-length fan fiction in that one, and I'm glad I did it, because I mean, I really enjoyed writing that fan fiction. A lot of the fan fictions I wrote, I did enjoy writing them. I mean, just I could look back on them of, oh, that was embarrassing, because yeah, but I don't regret writing them at all. Well, I say that now. My fanfiction.net account, I don't know if that site's still open. I'm betting it is, because that's no doubt that still gets traffic. Just the concept at least gets traffic. But I have an account on there that I haven't gone back to in years, but if fanfiction.net still exists and they don't purge their accounts for an activity, then my stuff you can find it. So, I let that be a scavenger hunt for you all out there. If you care to, you can find my old fanfics. A lot of crossover stuff. Usually with the main characters being the characters from Sailor Moon, because I love Sailor Moon. I still do. I haven't really watched much, I haven't watched any of the new Crystal episodes since the third season. But I love Sailor Moon. Like the 90s anime, that was my show for years. I mean, love Sailor Moon. And I still do, just so much. I mean, that's a show, well, I can't really say it aged well. I mean, the 90s anime. But a lot of the concepts and a lot of things they did with the big limitations they had, they did pretty well, I think. Like, there's like a lot of that episode, like a lot of that show is like, I mean, it is formulaic, nothing happening for a majority of the series, but they do have really poignant moments. And what really helps is that the main characters, like the Sailor Soldiers and their kind of here and there, side friend characters like Naru / Molly, depending which dub you're watching. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Sailor Moon, just really great, likable characters, mostly. I'm about to make a hot take right now for the 90s anime in regards to Uranus and Neptune. At least with how the anime treated them. And while I'm very glad that they, that they are out there and were put out there as being, very positive representation of lesbian characters, they're in addition to that, they were very how they were written in the 90s anime made them too 90s anti-hero-ish. Like much more so than they were portrayed in the manga. They were just made too they were they're a lot more edgelordy in the anime than the manga, I think. Because especially when I watch Crystal and I see they're not. Also, it might be the length too, because of how they the 90s anime had to stretch everything out. They had more time to be really uncooperative and just standoffish than in Crystal, where they had to get their stuff together because there are less episodes to work with. Omilas doesn't watch anime. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I was talking about Uranus and Neptune. They're fine. It's just because I get the impression, and this is very much I feel the same way for Tuxedo Mask and why he was aged up, is that they're trying to be very of the moment, that 90s moment. They tried to play around with the kind of what was popular in the 90s, and kind of adding stuff in. And I remember the director, one of the original directors for the Sailor Moon anime, hated Tuxedo Mask, and that's one reason Tuxedo Mask gets. I mean, he gets such a rough. He gets drawn such a short straw in the 90s anime that he doesn't even get a very powerful energy attack that he gets in the manga and Crystal. It's sad. He throws roses that in the entire 90s anime, and that's it. unless it's like very plot relevant, and then he gets incapacitated more often than not. Like he only when it comes to the finale of like each season of Sailor Moon, he only is actively present in the action in the one for Sailor Moon R. In all the other ones, he's incapacitated for some reason, or flat out spoiler, flat out dead in Stars. Like he gets like well in Stars you watch early on, you see he dies, and then that's the thing that happens in the manga too. But you know the manga for Stars is weird. Like, I don't even want to watch Crystal's Stars in particular because I did not like the Stars manga. Like I don't know what they're doing. That's an anime. That's a manga that fanficked itself in a lot of ways. Felt that way to me. And the Stars anime was just okay. It just felt like a really limp finale season. And the finale of itself was fine, except again, you know, Eurus and Neptune were way too 90s anti-hero-ish for my liking, or for just, you know, sense or their own likability, because they did some things. Okay, where was I going with this? Oh, I don't even know how I got to Sailor Moon. What? Oh yeah, fanfiction. Okay, from the game stuff. And for me, Les, I think I should go back to talking about Crash Bandicoot because he knows a lot more about that subject than Sailor Moon. But yeah, I could talk about Sailor Moon all day. I love so much of that, and but yeah, so I wrote a lot of fanfics, a lot of Sailor Moon crossover here and there, Pokemon, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and it's out there probably still on fanfic.net. Fanfic.net's still a thing. Yeah, I did a lot of weird stuff. Also, I loved a lot of Kingdom Hearts. Like I loved me some Kingdom Hearts. Not so much now, just because of how the series has gone crazy, story-wise, and also just so many friggin' what's it called, spin-offs on different consoles that just no. I know more about anything. What was Mila saying? I know more about anything than Sailor Moon. Okay, fair enough. We don't have to talk about Sailor Moon. I think now at this point in time, but yeah, back to the '90s mascot wars and all that. Mario won. Let's just put it out there. Mario won that war. I mean, in the long term, he won. Let's just call it now. I mean, I'm sure it's been called long ago. It was called Turn in 2006. But yeah, Mario won. Like, definitely, Nintendo were playing the long game in that war. More like Mario secured his win. He did. Okay, that's what I was saying. Nintendo played the long game in the those wars of in the gaming mascot wars, because Sonic himself was created to spark the war, but he was there. He couldn't, the games at least, and his performance, like, he couldn't, like, Sega created the character for the war, but not to win it. The war ended with the 3D era. Of course, yeah, it very much did. Especially, I mean, people are nostalgic for the Sonic Adventure games, but they have aged bad. I mean, and especially, okay, because Mario 64 is really rough looking now, but it aged a lot better than the not that it aged well, but it aged better than Sonic Adventures 1 and 2. Like, it doesn't have some like the glaring errors and face palmy moments that the Sonic Dreamcast games go. Or Dreamcast? Yeah, Dreamcast. Also, maybe let's mention too that Mario 64 did lay the boundaries for 3D gaming at the time, and it absolutely did. And games, that came out afterwards built upon the formula that it made. I mean, you have Banjo-Kazooie games, which are phenomenal. You had the Sega Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure trying, and and then you had Bubsy failing to do what Mario 64 did. Crash is pretty much just 3D eras. What was sorry? Crash Bandicoot was pretty much just 3D eras Sonic. Not quite sure. Crash Bandicoot was pretty much the 3D era's Sonic. A character made to call out against the plumber. Yeah, okay, I can see that, yeah. That's another thing, too. Crash was also, like Mila's point, Crash was made to participate in the war, but not to win it. And I remember this, it's cringy now, but there's a commercial from that time where, there's a guy dressed up as, Crash Bandicoot with a megaphone outside the Nintendo headquarters, saying the fight's on, and just really we all know who won that fight. We do. And then Sega dropped down to the having its own kind of consistent mascot, and then Sega doesn't even make consoles anymore. They just make software now, no hardware. I think Melissa's quoting that commercial with Crash Bandicoot. Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived. Keep telling yourself that. Crash. That era Crash, or that specific guy in the costume Crash. Yeah, Nintendo played the long game in that I mean, Nintendo, like a lot of those franchises, they're great at re-releasing their nostalgia and selling it back to you with all their re-releases, virtual console for whichever console, for whichever new console they have, or remaking this, remaking that. But can we at least say that when it comes to reselling nostalgia, that of the game companies, Nintendo's the best at it, and they've done it consistently well, and also they re-release their old stuff, but they also usually have very good quality control of their new stuff. They have all that extraordinary back catalog, but they also make sure to release a lot of good stuff. A lot of their new stuff is very good, usually critically acclaimed, commercially successful. And they, will re-release the stuff that was critically successful and commercially successful again, and that's okay because they can still make great new stuff. And and a lot of those 90s era mascots and game companies couldn't do that. They you get your Sonic games that are huge disasters. You get Crash Bandicoot being, punted around to different developers. Spyro's was sold off to a toy company. Nintendo, they knew what they were doing and they did it well. They had their, some rough moments with the Wii era and the Wii U being, not very well received, but they bounced back and just skyrocketed with the Nintendo Switch, and they are still sailing across the skies now on the wings of the Nintendo Switch. I think I had a lot of mixed metaphors in that, but I hope my point came across. Omilas is mentioning. Okay, yeah, but hey, post PS3, PS1 trilogy, Crash still had an okay run up till the hiatus. Yeah, Wrath the Cortex, which I think was that was a PS2, Xbox One, GameCube era release. Mila is saying Wrath of the Cortex was okay, but even if you were just retreading Crash 3's formula, Twin Sanity was a bit rough, but it was funny and gained a cult following. I've heard that too. The GBA titles were pretty great. I haven't played any of the Game Boy Advance Crash games. Titans, despite the redesigns, I still play like a decent beat 'em up with Crash. Was it Crash Twist thrown in? Okay. So Melissa's saying that like the first Radical Design produced Crash game, Crash of the Titans was good. I don't know, Melissa, did you ever play Mind Over Mutant? How does that compare? When you say Titans, you mean like both of them? Mind Over Mutant was okay. It felt more like an expansion rather than a sequel. Okay, that's understandable. Alright, got my basic line art done. Now I need to do colors, shading, and background, and oh boy. Alright, let's make some new layers. Oop, I want that over here. Alright. Hang on. Oh, I forgot part of his sleeve. Rats. I'll make that pretty quick. Let's see if I just get the basic colors done tonight. Didn't end up doing much of the background, but or any of the background. That's still on my to-do list, and tomorrow I should have most of the day available. I just have a lunch date, and then I'm going to be doing a lot of this. I should have more art today, but I had a lot going on. Melissa is saying, fun fact, Radical Entertainment he says, fun fact, Radical Entertainment, comma, the guys behind Titans and Mind Over Mutant, the Crash games, actually made Simpsons Hit and Run, probably one of the best games out of the PS2, Xbox, GC era. I actually have played Simpsons Hit and Run, and I did really enjoy that game. That was a really fun game. It was a Crazy Taxi clone, but it was I enjoyed it a lot. My go-to character was Lisa. I always played as Lisa Simpson in the electric car, because I thought that electric car had a nifty design. Maybe a little bland now, because it was just a grayish white car, but it looks sleek, especially compared to like the other characters' cars, and I really like the performance of that car too, from what I remember. And I also got the highest scores playing as Lisa in those games too. I just really I don't know if her character was overpowered or what, but I enjoyed playing as her. Mila says he always played as Homer. He was his favorite character in the show back then. Ah, that's fair. I know, like Homer's default car is like the pink sedan from The Simpsons, like his classic car. And then I think at some point you can unlock the car he designed for his was that what was his half brother who was in the auto industry or something. And he designs this horribly impractical and expensive to create car. And in Simpsons Hit and Run, you can unlock that car for Homer at some point, I think. Why? Ah. There we go. Whoa, there we go. I was actually just thinking about The Simpsons recently. I really haven't kept up with that show, and I haven't watched an episode in years. Not that I dislike the show. I really, I liked it a lot back in the day. I watched a lot of it. But I just haven't really watched that much of it. And I've also heard, in the decades it's been on the air, it's had, some franchises, zombie symptoms. Miles is saying, also fun fact about himself. Miles is saying Homer is who I draw when I'm really bored and want to sketch stuff. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, he has a very classic design. Simple too. Okay, I'm gonna get my gray layer for help with shading. Miles says he messes with Homer's design a lot. That's fair. I mean, like, there are some characters I should really draw more fan art of that I haven't. Oop, missed a bit. And for me, it's just a character I always enjoy like drawing, and whenever I want to draw a character or something, I just always tend to go back to drawing. Well, you can see him right here. I draw my Wolfsky character. I did design him to be simple and look and easy to draw. Because when I started out drawing, I could not draw, and it was just my style's pretty rough. I look back in my galleries on DeviantArt and such. It's been a journey, let's say. Oh. So I'm glad I kind of had a simple enough character throughout that journey to keep drawing. And ooh, I missed a lot of bits here, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, I got my gray for shading. I need to get. Oop, did not want to click that. Okay. Not that one, this one. Miles is saying, I once did. What was that? What'd you do? Scribby? Not sure what that is. Huh. I don't know what that is. Is that kind of game? Is that what that is? Oops. Also, I should pull up my own colors for Miles. I did draw him. Whoops, that's not the right. I dream of a kimono. I'm gonna use some of these colors. Ah. Oh, Mila's saying, if you don't know what Scribby is, what? Oh, it's an online game where you take turns drawing stuff and people have to guess it. Oh, that's interesting. I think I've heard of that. Just didn't know what the name for it was. Well, that's probably closer to him, how he did him here. Okay. And he has a more consistent color for his character. And realize you really like the kimono picture I did of your character. I really like it too. I had a lot of fun drawing him like this. Really fun outfit. Well, also, I just love designing kimonos for characters. Like I've been needing to design one for my dentist character, Floyd Pearlstein. It's on my to-do list. I have to get through a lot of gift art first. Well, I mean, not gift. Well, this gift art and then those couple trades. Oh yeah, Mula says, oh yeah, I love the kimono outfit. Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Oh, you would like to draw the kimono outfit? Oh yeah, you totally should. I really look forward to seeing that. I'm so glad you like it enough to want to draw it yourself. Ooh, I missed that tip of the tail. Huh. Alright. Realize, remind me again, if was it the strap you wanted red and the base white for his shoes? Oh, strap is yellow, base is red. Okay, my mistake. Oh, let me fix that. Is that what you had in mind? That kind of red? Or you want the red that's close? Let me see if I get the red close to the shoes and less so the hoodie. Okay, let me also get these parts of the hoodie that I missed. Yeah, they say they're the same color. Okay, good. I still need to fix the tip of his tail. Oops. Oop. Lastly, alright, got basic colors down. Oh, I need to draw on their faces. Ooh. Before I forget, clean up that tail. Alright. Now let's draw on their faces. Start my Wolfski here. Eyebrows are another sticking point for me that I really need to get better at. And this my Wolski character has particularly large eyebrows that he gets from his wolf dad. The wolf dad's eyebrows are harder to draw because they're more angular. So Genji more gets the shape from his mom, but the size from his dad. This is a really good way to describe my Wolski character. Now he's half wolf, half husky, but so it's a well not but he gets so he gets features from both his wolf dad and husky mom, and I'm just really trying to balance it out. And one kind of just kind of catch-all way I could describe it is he gets his he looks a lot like his dad, but with but his mom's features smoothing out the rough edges. And that's one of the examples of the eyebrows. Oh yeah, both Milas has mentioned that both my Wolski and his fox have bushy eyebrows. Milas is mentioning that his fox character, gets his sharp wit and attitude from his dad, and his love and care for others from his mom. Oh, that's sweet. I always enjoy at least how it's been for me is I've been I think it's how a lot of character designs go is I mean, well, I'll be surprised if this wasn't the case, but I draw create my character, and then I kind of create their parents based off how the character, like the child character, looks. I did do a few revamps of Genji's parents over the years, particularly the mom, because I had to want to redesign her a bit. Just so it would look more like Genji just wasn't like a opposite gender clone of his mom. That's kind of how she looked in her original design, so I tried to make her distinct from him. I also have him look a bit more like his dad. Mela has also mentioned that his fox character gets his arm patterns from his mom, so that's interesting. Ooh, what am I doing? Okay. What did I do? His nose? Or his snout? I guess I forgot that line. I really like the that you have such a good lore for your characters, Milas. I still need to work on mine, and also need to, I also have a cast of human characters. Like, just I keep developing them, but I don't put them to paper yet, and I really should. I just have very rough designs of them that I made years ago, and I still need to work with them. Huh. Oops. I lost track. Ooh. I see those corners, and I can nab those corners. Oh, sorry. Ooh, I need to make that. Oh. Oh, that arm looks too small, or what? It might be. He's kind of further away, bots. Let me see if I can just kind of. I can do some at the angle there. Alright. Been happy with that, because then before it looked like the arm was a bit too small, or too thin. Still not great, but at least it's kind of more like that's somewhat turned away, so I think it works for now. I'll come back to that. Yeah. Doesn't look too much different though. Let me just kind of wait. Yeah. Nope. Alright, let's see. See if that's better. Alright. Alright, let's have it look like that for now. Now we need to do Miles's face. Also need to work more in depth of image and drawing. Another weak spot of mine. Another point I'm very picky on is smiles and making sure they look right. Yeah, I mean, Les, I like your how your character relations. Yeah, like my Wolfsky Genji is very different from his in personality from his Wolfsky brothers, John and Isaac. I also need to draw them more and develop and create their human counterparts as well. Ugh, long story and a lot of work I need to get done. Like one thing I still need to do that I've been so lazy about doing, and one of the things that's keeping me from making some scripted content is I need to remake. I need to make new uh, character slides. How should I describe it? Just like well, I'm not showing a clip or a still from what I'm reviewing, um, and I don't want to show my actual self in video. I've been using like character slides, and the ones I made years ago, and they look pretty, and they're very rough. I need to make some new ones. I haven't quite decided if I want to make them with my human character or my Wolfsky character, because most of the people who it doesn't matter really which one I use. It's kind of my own what aesthetic I want. But I think more people who follow me on sites would recognize me more for my Wolfsky character, and also be kind of a way to make my own kind of like stickers too of that character and use them for in the slides. No, I don't want to make that line yet. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Well, I'm glad you're proud of your characters, me, Les. You should be. If I'm very proud of the characters I've created, and I do feel each one of them is a part of me, or just like at the very least a snapshot in time of when I created them. Even the ones I don't draw anymore, they still matter to me, and why and I still, for most of them at least, I remember why I made them. Even if I don't draw them anymore, I still have that. For example, there was not was, but there's still I made like that dentist character, the mouse dentist. I gave him, he has a family, and I haven't designed his wife and daughter, but I did design his son around the same time I designed him. Well, not really the same time, because I designed the mouse for a one-off piece, and I made him into a character. But I made the official design of his character around the same time as his son. And the son I made with a specific thought in mind, and inspiration from someone I knew, but just kind of things happen, and I just kind of don't see that person anymore, and so the character kind of reminds me a bit of that person, and how we kind of had to go our separate ways. So it makes it a bit difficult to use that character, just because I just don't know how to sort those feelings. It just really complicates it, all those sort of things. Like there are some artists I know have like a song, and because of who they work with the song or some circumstance behind the song, they just don't feel very fondly of the song. One example I have is Lady Gaga. One song that not that she did, well, she doesn't dislike the song, but she just remembers the difficult process of making it, and that kind of makes her kind of have feelings for it. And that's her song "Telephone," the one that features Beyonce. And so it's not that I don't think it's that she dislikes the song itself, but she just remembers how difficult it was to record the song, and so that memory kind of lingers in. So it's like when asked about songs she doesn't like she kind of mentioned that one just because of that difficulty. She still performs it just about every tour, though. It is one of her hits, absolutely. I mean, she's still performing the song now in her Enigma Vegas residency. Ugh. Oh, I need to do his eyebrows. Hold on. Alright. Ooh, I need to draw. I should just. I don't want to leave blank eyes before this night is over. Or the stream is over, I should say. Okay. What? Trying to see something on my tablet. Okay. Just kind of feel like, I don't know, just checking something. Because I dropped. With that noise I made, I dropped something on my tablet, and I feel I just want to make sure everything's okay. So I'm way too far from the mic. I don't know why I was leaning that far away. Sorry about that. Okay. Whoop, need black. I don't know if this line. Well, okay. whoops, whoops. Oh, he needs a mouth. He has no mouth, but he doesn't need a scream. Oh, he doesn't have a mouth, but he doesn't need a scream. Yeah. Okay. Like adore the curve and the sketch. I want to make sure I match it up just right. The line art. Alright, got my basic colors. So let me work on some of the details on the pants, logo, and all that. Then shade and background. All a lot wanted to do, so yeah. Well, oh, and I need to do the lines on his ears. I want to do that right now just because I don't want to forget. Yeah. Alright, I think that's good for now. And I think I'm gonna call it a night. Wait. Oh yeah, the yellow soul. Actually, let me do that since you brought up Miles. He has yellow furnace souls. I'll make sure I show that. Don't want to forget. Ah, okay. Look at the cream soles. Ooh, gotta even that out a bit here. Alright. Then I'll add in details, angles, and all that. Right now, I think I'm going to call it a night. I've been at this for over 2 hours. And I really appreciate having some company, so thank you, Miles, for dropping by in the comments, and for everyone else watching live and later on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Keep working on these pictures, and maybe I'll get this one finished by tomorrow, hopefully, and see which other ones I can get done here and there. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on YouTube for more of my videos, live streams, and all that, and Twitch for watching them live as well. But Gaming Genji, both Twitch and YouTube, and at Gaming Genji on Twitter for Twitter updates and seeing pictures. And Miles says he loves how it looks so far. Well, I'm really glad you like it. Hope I can get a good background for this. And oh yeah, Super Genji on DeviantArt for there, and also Gaming Genji on Tumblr, but I don't think many people are there anymore. I read a thing somewhere that there's almost like over 20% less traffic since they did their thing back in the day. But that's another topic, and I need to cut this video. It's been going long. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.